I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. I'm on it.
Hey, Freak Show! You're going nowhere!
We'll do it live! Fuck it!
Welcome back, kids and coaches, to another episode of West of Nowhere. I'm Levi.
And I'm Shane.
And we're back with, I don't know, there's just too many crazy things going on to keep track of, I think.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, my tabs on my browsers are already out of whack because of, you know, all of the research I do for the other thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I have to have a separate window of a bunch of tabs open for weird and, like, interesting stories for this show. So I'm, like, constantly flipping through, like, fucking browsers with, you know, 10 to 12 tabs open, and I'm just, I don't know where. I think a person with a normal brain would see this and go, what the fuck is this? Because it's like those movies where the person's definitely got schizophrenia and the people are like trying to indulge them, and they're like, yeah, you're doing great, like you don't have a problem, and they're like, you know, just like newspaper all over the walls and shit, and they're like, it's all connected, I promise. And that's how I feel sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tabs would give me would fuck me up.
Yeah. I have so many tabs on my phone browser that it just has a smiley face. It doesn't even tell me how many tabs are open.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And picked up Natalie's phone one day and seen that shit, and I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Because I think the most I ever keep open is maybe 10.
What's weird is you don't really use the browser on my phone either, but I'm like, better save that. I have digital hoarding, I think, maybe. Like my grandpa, he's got real hoarding, but I have digital. I just hoard all these tabs open just in case you might need it. Can't throw it away. Can't find it again. Yeah.
To be fair, I think that's healthier. I think digital hoarding's way healthier. It doesn't take up space in your house. You can't like trip over it and die.
That's true.
Yeah.
It could be what do they call it? It's a gateway. It's a gateway hoarding, you know.
Yeah. Ooh.
I don't know. Anyway, you know what we should do?
Yeah.
It's the Patreon people.
Mm-hmm. We'd like to thank Tony Burgess, Anna Pacino, Mark Stadler, Kylie Gangwish. A big happy birthday shout out to Colby Jordan.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Happy birthday, Colby.
Jeremy, we'd like to thank Jeremy Brazil, Chantel Stadler, Colton Zamerla. He really got to switch over to the other list, big guy. I gotta remember your name every time.
I just gotta think. It was like, you got $1.29 from Patreon. I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, it's that time of the month, dude.
And then last but certainly not least, Boney M.
Yeah. Shout out to Kylie. She made me this really fun little stitching thing.
You dumb bitch. That's
so
awesome.
Anyway, yeah. She made one for Jeremy too, but it's all the way over there. I'm not gonna grab it, but so yeah. Thanks, Kyle. But yeah, no, I appreciate all of you guys, all of the Patreon people. Colby, how old's Colby?
Fuck.
Jesus.
You're supposed to know how old your friends are?
Boy. Yeah, you better. Listen. You got like a month to figure out how old I am, and then you know, I'm just saying, if you fuck that one up, it's game on.
Look.
He was born
in 97, so what's
so
7 years less? What's 7 years younger than me?
12. Anybody born in 1997 is automatically 12. That's just the way it works. No, so he'd be 3 years younger than me. So he's 26, 20.
Do you know how old you
Because
are?
I'll be 29. So 26 right now, right?
Yeah.
How old he
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
He just turned 26.
Yeah, he just turned 26.
All right. We got there, guys.
God damn.
Yeah.
He's 3 years younger than me.
Fucking the math equation meme, just like.
No way.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, if you want to be a Patreon person, go to the link tree in the description. Follow that to everywhere. It's got all the things in it. You know, like, subscribe on the YouTube, watch the thing. You know, review us. Keep reviewing us wherever you can. On the Podchaser, the Spotify, the Apple Podcasts. And if you want to learn about history, check out my other show, I suppose.
Yeah. Check out his other show.
It's the Remedial Scholar. And the Pirates Part 1 episode just came out, so check that shit out.
Yeah.
And on to the fun stuff. Oh, wait.
Don't let Levi know that it's actually a decent show.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because it's like, I don't know. I feel like I put a lot of, it's like when I finish a drawing and I'm like, this one's the shit. And I'm like, oh, I wake up and check the thing and it doesn't have 5,000 listens right away. I'm like, what's the point?
Right? Might as well just give up and focus all your energy into this show.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
How's that been going for me? You know?
Shut up.
I've been doing that. Anyway, but we got some fun stories and there's some sad ones. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to start with probably the saddest of all of them. Sarcasm implied. Zoom is ordering their their workers back to the office, which is kind of hilarious if you ask me. Like, the thing we're using right now to telecommunicate from Washington State and Wisconsin right now to perform this podcast, that company is like, you guys got to come back to the office, which is really funny. I don't know. It's not really that sad, but I thought it was kind of amusing. Just the, I don't know, irony, right? Is that the word? It's got to be.
It is weird that they would want that, considering they make their money
on people not being at the office.
Yeah, on people teleworking.
Yeah.
Maybe too many people are teleworking and their servers can't fucking handle it.
Oh, they're like, all right, we can crank these numbers down by at least 30 because we send everybody back to the office.
Yeah,
I don't know.
there you go.
People work there, but yeah. So the real sad stuff. Fucking Hawaii's on fire.
Yeah.
Maui, right? That's the island. Maui's the island, right? And then,
I'm not good
the
at
town
geography.
is well, it's Hawaiian and I can't pronounce it without sounding dumb, so I'm not gonna. But there's a fire in Maui, and listen, there is some there's like almost 100 people dead.
Okay, so the number hasn't changed?
Yeah, it's almost 100 right now.
Okay.
So, I don't know when this was last updated that I'm looking at, but it was a little flashing icon that said latest fire update. So I just refreshed it and hoped it would change.
When the last time I looked at the story, it was like it said 93 people. So
okay.
That's still almost 100, so I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It could have gone up by 3 or, none, whatever. I don't know. Yeah, I can't really find anything. What happened? Do you know?
No, I couldn't find anything either. I just see a bunch of, I just seen a bunch of the articles where stuff's already burnt.
Yeah.
I think they're probably still trying to figure out what caused it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right now it's unclear. Okay, it's under investigation.
Dang.
Maybe if I read the article in front of my face.
We're detectives.
Yeah, so call us Batmans. Here's the thing, though. I did see some good news.
Yeah.
Cheeseburger in Paradise in Maui has been burnt down, and listen, if there's one thing I like in this world, it's when Jimmy Buffett's fucking shitty chain restaurants suffer, okay? So that's the one silver lining I've seen so far, and that's what you get for banning me from your establishments, Jimmy Buffett, you piece piece of shit.
Wait.
I got kicked out of the Cheeseburger in Paradise in Honolulu when we were there. And so it's just been me against Jimmy Buffett ever since, you know.
Yeah, how's that working out for you?
I mean, he hasn't made a dime off of me, and look, he's one restaurant less, so. I'm just saying. Me, haven't lost any restaurants, so who's winning? Fucking this guy. No, but yeah, you see the pictures and it's fucking wild. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it juxtaposes with like how Hawaii looks all the time. It's very serene and, you know, paradise, right? And then it's just charred remains of all of this stuff. And you're like, oh no, well, that's depressing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't. I thought I saw a number. They were like, you know, in the billions of dollars of estimated damages.
Oh,
caused
damage
by
it
this.
probably.
Yeah. So, yeah, and they say that the fire may have been exacerbated. Is that the right word? By dried out grass that had been dried out by passing hurricanes and different sea winds, which is an interesting thought that I've never had.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but I don't know. It's just also very weird because it's like you're surrounded by water. Why are you on fire? You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Earth tricks you every now and then. But
Well, when you look at the damage, it's just like you don't expect that much, like that amount of damage. Like,
Yeah.
you would expect it. I mean, obviously, I don't know that city, but I don't feel like it's like a densely populated island, right? Like they're not.
yeah, and like, to be fair, a lot of the damage is in like the, you know, the downtown-esque, like a very like more urbanized section. Like
Okay.
it's not obviously out in the fucking mountains and shit, I don't think, but you know, because it's near where people go a lot, because fucking shit, Jimmy Buffett's bar's down, but you know, and they don't put those anywhere, you know, they put those in hot spots. There's a Margaritaville in the Mall of America, if that tells you anything, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, I guess we'll keep tabs on that, because I don't know how fucking long that thing's gonna last. Those wildfires in Canada felt like those things, they still might be going on. I don't know, but we were getting a lot of the smoke.
Yeah, same.
Because, you know, yeah, because you guys are up there too. And so, like, up north.
Yeah.
In the northern hemisphere of the United States. And, yeah, it just kept coming back. I'm like, what is happening, dude? But, yeah, so, in other sad news, Johnny Hardwick, a.k.a. Dale Gribble of the King of the Hill fame, died at 64. The guy who voices Dale Gribble from the King of the Hill. You
Yeah.
ever watch that?
Never.
No?
Yes, I've watched it.
Oh. So yeah, that's, you know, unfortunate. I guess he had, you know, they're talking about reviving the show, and he'd already recorded several of the new episodes too. Yeah. And they didn't list the cause of death, so I guess we'll just have to speculate. He's 64, so it's either
Let's just assume old age, you know? He just went to sleep and
Some
didn't wake
sort of-
up.
some sort of cancer, or because his character smoked, so
He got cancer because his character smoked.
his cartoon character smokes.
Nice.
Speaking of cancer. No, or maybe like a heart thing, maybe. I don't know.
So here's the good news. I mean,
Okay.
the silver lining, you know, if you will. Because we have, you know, hours and hours and hours of Dale Gribble talking,
Uh-oh.
they can do the AI shit.
Yeah, they probably could. I don't think they would they?
I don't know.
I don't
I'm just saying, like, you could, if they still wanted to do the show and they wanted to keep him as the voice.
Yeah. And instead of paying, like, they could still pay his, like, family.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean, that you know what? That probably could work, honestly. In a weird way. But, I don't know. Yeah, because there's, I don't know, how many? He appeared in 257 episodes.
What, and that-
258.
250, so 247?
257 episodes he's been in. So.
Because, yeah, and then, what, they're like 20-minute long episodes?
Yeah, and you gotta think he's probably only got maybe 5 minutes of screen time on, per episode, maybe.
Oh.
Because he's not gonna be in every single scene.
You're right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's just say it's 5 minutes then.
Yeah.
They've got 20. If that's the case, and I'm sure more episodes are in more than 5 minutes, they have 21 hours of him talking.
Yeah, so that's plenty.
Yeah.
Because they only need, I don't know, I've seen things that are like, yeah, we had 30 minutes of, we made this thing listen to 30 minutes of Drake music, and now Drake's,
Oh, yeah, they made that
singing
fake
opera
Drake
or
song?
something.
Yeah. Speaking of that, dude, I seen someone did an AI. I think Baby Got Back? I don't know. But they took Johnny Cash and he sang the song.
Oh,
They used AI to do it. Dude, I'm just saying Johnny Cash could have killed that song.
Well, Johnny Cash can do everything. Okay. Well, he could have. He can't now, but
Hey.
yeah. I don't know. It's one of those weird things. It's like, is this okay? I feel like if they would do that in this instance with King of the Hill, and then did still pay that guy's pay, because they're already planning on paying him a certain amount, right?
Right.
Like that money's already figured into it. So if they decide to just pay his family that same amount, contractually, while the show continues to go, and residuals and shit, why wouldn't they? Which also makes me, I just had this thought with the writer's strike and all this stuff going on. When a person is in a big work, a big movie, and they die, do their royalties just go to the next person, or does the company they're dead, don't have to pay them no more? You know what I mean?
I'm sure it's got to be something that's when they sit down and write the contract about, then that's in there somewhere. I would imagine whenever someone's younger, they don't think about that.
Oh, yeah.
But
yeah.
I feel like in your 60s, you're like, you know what? I should probably, just to be safe, get this written in here that it goes to my wife or goes into a trust for my kids or grandchildren or whatever.
That's the way to do it. Don't fucking have it billed to you. Just have it set to a trust. Because that shit will be around as long as, the bank survives or whatever.
Yeah, which isn't long.
Yeah. Yeah, young people signing contracts. Hey, segue into my next story. Check this out. Did you ever watch that movie, The Blind Side, with Sandy Bullock and Tim McGraw? And
yes.
Talking about?
Yes.
Okay, so they adopt that guy, that kid.
Yeah.
And then they teach him how to play football, and he big star man. Well, over the years, this guy Michael Oher, who is the child they adopted,
right,
has come out and been like, yeah, I mean, that movie's not really super accurate, but but okay, whatever, because it portrayed him as never having heard of the game of football, and they had to teach him the fundamentals and all this stuff, and he's like, I was playing football all the way up until when I met them, so I knew what I was doing. I just didn't have a house to live in, basically, was the main issue. And the whole story is they Leanne Toohey is the real life lady. Sandy Bullock adopts this kid and takes care of him. The son teaches him math and shit and whatever. That happens, and then he's in the NFL. Okay. Well, now Michael Oher is coming out further and saying not only is the movie pretty much the only thing that they really got right is the fact that I knew them, and then I lived in their house, and then went to the NFL. Basically those things.
Yeah.
He has filed a lawsuit because he to remove himself from a conservatorship that they placed him in when he was 18, when he was living with them, right?
Yeah.
As you or the listeners may know, conservatorship, big thing in the news, because that's like the Britney Spears thing, right? You have no real legal power over your own self.
Yeah.
So he's been in this conservatorship for almost 20 years now, which is wild to me. But
Yeah.
So his entire time he was in the NFL and all this, and he, as he understood it, this is coming from like the lawsuit, is saying that, you know, I entered this conservatorship because I thought it was a stage to them adopting me, and they never legally adopted him, as they, you know, pretty much, like, feel like that's the whole story. They adopted him, and then, you know, like, it goes on, and everything's hunky-dory. And they didn't ever actually adopt him. They put him in this conservatorship, and then he, you know, they obviously did have him in their house and shit, but yeah, so anyway, pretty interesting. We'll see how that goes, I suppose. He's also said that you know, the movie made so much money, made over $300 million in the box office worldwide, and he didn't receive any of that. And then, like, other members of the family have stated, oh, we made, you know, around 14 grand, but then also the dad has said that he's made money since, you know, the movie came out, like, on residuals and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know who to believe, what's going on, but something's fucked. So I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting. We'll see.
That is wild.
Yeah, but he's been in this conservatorship for fucking 20 years. And that means the entire time he was in the NFL, which I don't know what that means for his financials, because in my mind, if you're in conservatorship, you don't really handle that stuff, right? Like, that's not part of your... And I don't know. And I'm assuming they must have had a pretty good relationship, because they've always been, like, there's pictures of them, you know, sidelines after games, whatever, even through his NFL career, so...
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know that you could adopt someone who was 18.
Well, I don't know. I guess technically, you can probably legally adopt anybody. At a certain point, you're, like, it would go from you taking care of the person to, like, them being part of your family, because you can, you know, change the name, and, you know, for, like, step parents of, you know, I've known this kid since he was, you know, 5 or whatever, and they're like, I'm gonna adopt you so you can have mine, or some shit like that, you know, that happens. But I don't know, it's probably also varies state to state too. But
I was gonna say, because because didn't he get, wasn't the movie like based in Mississippi, right? Because I remember there being like the whole thing in the movie about
Tennessee.
like Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the adoption laws in Tennessee are different.
Could be. Yeah.
Maybe once you're 18, you can't be adopted, because that does seem weird to me. Like, if you're 18, I'm an adult, why do you need to adopt me? And clearly it hasn't been that hard on him. It's probably not, the conservatorship was probably nowhere near as brutal as like Britney's was, where like where her father literally controlled everything. Because I feel like if the conservatorship was that bad, then he wouldn't have been cool with these people, you know, bringing them to games and fucking. Why would you wait? And plus, why would you wait 20 plus years?
Yeah.
You wouldn't, I don't think.
Yeah, one of the things he talked about was that, you know, this thing really stripped away his decision-making powers. That's one of the things that's like a major point.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. I don't know if that stems around, because, you know, he wasn't new in the NFL when that movie came out. He's almost on his way out. So I wonder if that was like part of the thing where he's like, well, I didn't really want this, you know, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want my likeness, but since he wasn't in charge of some of those decision-making spots where he couldn't really fucking say anything about it, I don't know. We'll have to find out more, because it's a fairly new, you know, lawsuit that's coming out, but the word lawsuit sounds so aggressive, because he's literally just challenging the conservatorship, similar to how Britney did hers, right? But
right.
It is technically a lawsuit, I suppose. I don't know. Yeah. So I found this crazy story. Every now and then I'm on Facebook and I find a crazy story. And it's always like, this is several years old. But it's, I don't know. I think it leads into another story somewhat well. So the initial story is pretty depressing. I'll give you that.
Great.
This lady got attacked and stabbed 16 times by an ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
But after that, she survived, okay? Well, she survived for 2 years after that. But anyway, she was, one of the things that she said was she was, like, she was seeing things all the time, like out of her stress and probably, you know, all of the PTSD.
Yeah.
She's seeing all these crazy things, and the article specifically headlines, she sees shadow people everywhere, which obviously, I mean, why wouldn't you? If I got stabbed 16 times, I don't think I'd leave the house again, because that's aggressive, right?
Yeah.
But you know, with like the mental health aspect of that, I was thinking about that crazy lady from the airplane, right?
Okay.
The one freaking out about, I don't know, she was having some kind of thing going on where she's, I'm seeing somebody's not real in the back, and now she's came out and said that, you know, I was obviously not well, like I apologize for this moment, but and take accountability for her actions, all these things, and like she's coming out to like promote positive mental health after this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's that. That's okay. That's the link. Okay. But I saw another article about this story, and there's a guy who claims that he thinks that the video was initially just gonna be part of like a hoax, like a fake video hoax thing going on, where I've seen these where, and I've been seeing a lot more of them lately, where it was something that people were like, oh shit, and then all of a sudden it's a hoax. You know, like, I can't even think of any off the top of my head now, but I'm sure other people remember seeing something and they're like, oh shit, hit the share button, and then somebody's like, that's actually not real, and I'm like, fuck. So this guy's saying maybe this was going to be one of those, but then the internet caught it too quick, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then it spread out, and it reminded me of, have you watched that movie We Have a Ghost with
No.
what's his name, David Harbour, the dude from Stranger, you know who I'm talking about?
No.
You don't know who the guy from Stranger Things?
There's a bunch of dudes from Stranger Things.
The sheriff, the main.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, that wasn't a very descriptive thing. But anyway, so he plays this ghost in this house, and these people record him, and then they put it online. And then the movie does a really good job of like being a commentary on how, like, viral sensations, like how it splinters and goes all these different ways. Like,
yeah.
it follows this train of like, you know, oh, we got a bunch of challenges. We're gonna do the whatever the ghost name's challenge. So people trying to do ghost shit, like slamming it, they sprint at walls and shit. And then like I want to advocate for ghost rights, and like it you know, goes into that field. And then there's people who are like, I don't know, I think ghosts kind of hot, like, and it just like goes into all these different like pockets of what the internet can become around like a certain phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a viral video or anything like that. And yeah, it just made me think of this story, because I was like, dude, that fucking happened in real time. There's people like, oh, this lady's crazy. There's other people like, oh, she's kind of hot. I don't know. And then, you know, people quoting it all the time. Anyway, yeah, it was a real profound experience I had, linking all these things together. But it is what it is.
You got newspaper all over your room, huh?
Yeah, maybe.
There's a little red string everywhere.
Yeah, just fucking connect the dots, dude. Yeah, so, you know who Tory Lanez is?
Yes.
Okay, well, apparently, well, not apparently, he's been found guilty in connection to a shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. So he's gonna be going to prison for 10 years.
Oh,
Which I
yeah.
feel like, I don't know. Why does that seem long enough? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean,
and-
he did shoot her in the foot, but still.
What? Well, I need to know why. I need to know.
What happened?
Yeah, I need to know like the actual story because you could accidentally shoot someone in the foot. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think you accidentally shoot someone anywhere else, but like in the foot seems like
Very specific.
Seems like he was like, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm just gonna bullshit anyway. He was
All
like,
right.
he was trying to like fucking show off. And he was like, look, girl, like look at this gun, look how fucking bad it is. And yeah, it turned down sideways, and I don't know, he just fucking like an idiot pulled the trigger and shot her in the foot.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. Like a little, was that 8 Mile when that dude shoots himself accidentally?
Shoots himself in the dick. Cheddar Bob, dude.
Yeah, Cheddar Bob. Put some respect on his name. Yeah, I don't know. It says, so his, the charge was assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm with gross negligence, which kind of,
Sounds like an accident.
yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know. Or, that could be plead down, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
So I think what's getting him is the fact that he had a loaded unregistered weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, that's usually, they don't usually like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So there's, obviously, his lawyers are like, we got alcohol use, and, he's got some mental illness thing going on, and, I guess some PTSD because his mom died when he was 11, so they think that he abused alcohol in response to that, and then his alcohol use led to this. So it sounds like he was doing exactly what you were saying, is like being dumb, drunk, and waving a fucking gun around. Accidentally shot himself,
Yeah.
or shot not himself, herself.
Shot her.
Yeah. Oh, but update. Not update. I just scrolled down further because I thought the article was over. But so I guess Megan testified that Lanez had shouted for her to dance and fired a gun towards her feet
Oh shit.
when she walked away from a SUV that the pair were in with 2 other people. Man. And the doctors later found, doctors at the hospital found bullet fragments in her foot. Yeah.
So
She thought she had cut her feet on glass when she was,
so he didn't even really shoot her.
yeah, she got like,
She got some ricochet, yeah.
Yeah. Ugh.
10 years for ricochet?
Yeah, so a little bit of ricochet, dude. Come on. No. Shots fired. Yeah. But, she's a performer, and she does move around on her feet a lot, so
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah, restitution, not 10 years in prison.
restitution. Yeah. I'm not saying I understand, but this is how it is, I guess. It is wild. So, there we go. Now we know. Megan Thee Stallion got hit with some ricochet.
So she's gonna put out a song now and talk about how she got shot.
Probably fucking 50 Cent. She's never gonna not bring it up. Yeah, remember that time I was taking bullets? Bet you got hit with shrapnel. Calm down.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got to talk about this.
Okay.
The Montgomery water boat brawl. Have you seen the video?
Yeah, dude. Like, it got wild.
It's so much fun to watch because there's so many pockets of different things happening, and you're like, well, this video has everything. Anyway, so there's, you know, if you haven't seen it, you got to look it up. It's pretty. I mean, it's interesting just to watch. But basically, if you haven't watched it, this guy who works for a riverboat company was trying to move this family who had their fucking pontoon in the wrong dock, and the gentleman was not white, as I mean, I'm assuming he was black, but I don't want to put the words out there. I don't know. He might not have been. But the family was white, and apparently they were like those white people that are like, oh, I don't think you understand. We're allowed to do whatever we want because we're white. So they argue with this guy a lot, to the point to where the fucking one of the sons just threw hands on him. The guy throws his cap up, which is probably the most iconic thing I've seen in a while. Throws his fucking hat off. He's like, all right. So they start fighting, and then two more from the family like come up and basically tackle this dude to the ground, the security guard or the dock worker from the, you know, the riverboat company. And the fucking crowd just erupts with like freaking out, and then boos and shit. People are jumping in the water because it's in a dock, so the people are jumping in the water to swim across to go help the guy. People running down the stairs around the other side to come help him. And it just starts this brawl that ends up, like, it stops for a little bit, and then it gets ramped back up because other people found these, like, the family in the pontoon like, a little bit later on, and came down and were like, no, fuck this, we're not done. Kept fighting them, and then, and eventually, you know, so the iconic folding chair comes out with from the top rope, the Undertaker with the chair, and and it's just chaos. It's just a lot of chaos going around. How'd you feel about it?
It's, honestly, the way that I seen it, so I didn't even know the video was a thing at first. I just seen somebody that I knew post a picture of a family in a boat, and then they tagged the chick directly.
Oh,
and then
shit!
And someone was like, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes," and I was like, "What is?" I don't understand the context of this. So I clicked on it, found her Facebook.
Fell right down the rabbit hole, huh?
Oh yeah. Clicked on it, found her Facebook, and her Facebook was like was private. And I was like, okay. So I backed up and just searched her name in Facebook, and then it pulled up all these fucking videos where like,
oh man,
everybody was posting the video and tagging that entire fucking family.
Oh no.
And then the story that I heard was, the guy, the boat worker was like, hey, you have to move that boat. We're trying to leave, and they were like, we don't got to do anything. And he's like, yes, you do. You have to move your boat. And then, of course, like you said, the fight just started. And
yeah.
When he threw his hat up, it seemed like it told everyone else in the area it's time to fight.
Shit's about to go down. Yeah.
Like, everyone was ignoring it. Everyone was fine with white people yelling at one random person of color. But the second he threw his hat off, it was like, fucking, let's go, dude.
Yeah. Man, it was just fucking, just chaos, too. And, you know, it's hard to tell because there's so many people yelling in the different videos. But there are, obviously, there's, you know, people who are coming out saying that they heard some racial expletives coming out from the from the white people. And
yeah.
That's not a good look at all. And I, you know, at the beginning, I did not know that it erupted in such a massive thing.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, like, I was kind of like, oh shit, like, this guy's about to get murdered. There's 6 white people and there's 1 black guy on the ground. Like, that's never good odds, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, and then I could hear, like, the people yelling at shows, like, somebody's gotta jump in. Like, what the fuck, dude? Because they had him on the ground and they're just fucking punching and kicking him.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was just wild. The police contest that it was not racially motivated, just, you know, assholes, basically. That the family was assholes. But it's also police in Montgomery, Alabama, so I don't know. Do we think their history is not great?
Not a great track record.
Yeah, I've been there. You know, seen the museum pieces. Not great. But yeah, I wanted to talk about it because it was just like my feed was all folding chair memes and like just what I was talking about a little bit ago, where something happens and then all these different fucking things like go off. Like,
yeah, it just
all of a sudden we find out that the guy invented folding chair was black. I didn't know that, or the guy with the patent anyway. Like the first one, and I'm like, that's hilarious. like you couldn't write a movie better than that. Like this guy probably had no idea, but one day, listen, it's gonna be a symbol of fighting oppression. Okay, yeah. So that's yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
I got something for you. I got 2 stories for you. One, I guess kind of happy. One, definitely sad.
Let's go.
All right. So the first one, a sailor out of Norfolk, Virginia, won $1.8 million on an online lottery game.
Oh fuck yeah. Let's go.
Apparently, it's the largest instant win in online gaming history.
That's hilarious. And you know every single disgruntled, basically anybody who's E6 and below is like out there buying lotto tickets and shit now.
Oh yeah,
Like,
for sure.
It can happen, man. See? It happened to him.
Yeah. I mean, but
Yeah.
to be fair, after taxes, he's probably only bringing home like what, 600,000 maybe.
6 or 7, yeah.
Yeah. They tax the
Oh.
fuck out of you when you win shit like that.
Yeah. Better than nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Trust me. If I just won $600,000, or that's the money that I got to go home with, no problems. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. It says
What'd you say he was? A submariner?
he doesn't say what his rate is. He just said he's in the Navy, and that he's been keeping an eye on this game for a while now.
Oh.
Yeah, the instant win game features a progressive growing jackpot and requires players to uncover at least 3 matching symbols to win. Just sounds like an online scratch off.
Yeah.
But it doesn't say like what his job in the Navy is, or he didn't even say what he's gonna do with the money. But if he was smart, he would pay off all the debt he already has, you know, and invest the rest.
Yeah. It also would depend probably how far in he is. Because if I was at the 10-year mark and I won that, I would save it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or, you know how they do, I don't know if it's everywhere.
You can do
Or-
installments too.
Right, yeah, that's what I would do. I would take installments and I would save it, and then I'd just ride out the rest of the 10 years. Honestly, worry-free, because, like, what?
Right,
Like,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, oh, okay. I'm not going to let this bother me. I got fucking, you know, 20 grand coming this month. Fuck you.
Oh, I know, dude.
Yeah.
And I heard too that you get more money like that if you don't take the lump sum. If you go for the payments, you get more money. You end up paying less in taxes as well.
Yeah, because it's like, well, but it's like a long time. I can't remember what I heard. I guess I've heard that same thing, but it's always like, oh, it's over X amount of years. I'm like, okay, that means, sounds like yearly I wouldn't have to worry about jack shit.
Right.
But-
Exactly.
Yeah,
Every year I just got $20K for no reason.
yeah,
I'd be,
yeah, just a extra free $20,000.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd be down.
In other news, this story is not out yet. I only know about it because I know people from the squadron. But over the weekend, and I won't say his name because, like I said, nothing's out yet. But over the weekend, a sailor here took his own life.
Oh, jeez.
Um,
Damn.
So it's pretty crazy, man. Like,
Yeah.
I know with our vast, ocean of listeners,
Yeah.
watch your friends, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to them. If they're acting weird, ask questions. Because I had met that dude. Obviously, we weren't friends, but I had met him a couple times, and that dude didn't seem not what you would expect. Like, if you're like, oh, that person took their own life, you're like, oh, I could see that. He was
had no idea.
Yeah, obviously I didn't know him that well, but there's a couple times I interacted with him, happy-go-lucky dude.
Yeah.
So, gotta pay attention. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. And also, still continues the shitty tradition of people not getting, the help they need in the military specifically, but also, just in general.
Yeah.
There's still such a big stigma around mental health and especially for dudes, and I don't want to turn it into like people don't care about men, because that's not really what I'm going. I think there's a stigma from men that you shouldn't worry about shit like that. Yeah. I've had conversations with people where they're like, I don't know, sounds like you're just making excuses, you're being whatever, blah blah blah. And it's like, okay, dude, like, you don't fucking know. Like, everybody handles shit differently, and some people just can't let shit go, or XYZ. There's a good podcast that the dude who does all the art stuff for Time Suck, Logan, he started a podcast with his wife called the Broken Youth Club, and that's this whole thing is like a lot of like challenging, not just youth-based traumas, but just traumas as a person, and it's nice that he's there. Like, it's him and his wife, and it's nice actually hearing like him, not only respond to the things that she's saying about her issues, but also being super vulnerable. Because I think there's a lot of people who don't really see that. Like, there's not a wide scope of dudes being vulnerable in that space, and
right.
I think adding to that is a good thing.
Yeah. Well, no. So the Navy took here recently, actually. Like, I want to say 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago now, they released an av admin that said, if anyone comes to you, if you go to an E6 or above, like say I'm a fucking E3 Timmy, whatever, and I'm feeling some type of way, if I go to an E6 or above and I ask for help, for like a mental reason, you are required now to help them, like to call and get an appointment made for them, and help them. If you have to, you're required to take them to the hospital. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, it's a step in the right direction, and so it's super unfortunate that this just happened this weekend, because I guess it just goes to show no matter what rules you put in place, you're not going to save everybody, but it's terrible.
I mean, but that, and it always harkens back to like the the drinking. Every fucking squadron thing I've ever heard, like every brief, it's always, well, if you find yourself in trouble, call somebody, blah blah blah. And even with that, you have free rides at your fingertips all the time.
Yeah.
And there's still people in the military that get DUI. So, it's like that kind of thing where you can put all the stuff out there. You might not always do everything. Like you can only save so many. You can't save people from themselves ultimately, but unfortunately. But, putting all that shit out there, you're like, hey, we have the resources, this is, I mean, that's huge. I did not know that. That's awesome that they're doing that. But it is also, like you said, unfortunate about this individual. But yeah,
it's rough out here.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wrap it up right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotta. I mean, hey, listen. It's about time you took the burden off of my shoulders about sharing sad stories, okay? I didn't want to be the only one.
Oh, man.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's wrap her up.
Oh, yeah. We'd like to thank our friends, Dutch and Denver podcast, Kicking with the Kellys, and the Remedy Room, and the No New Friends podcast. He already talked about the link tree at the beginning of the episode. So it's everywhere somewhere here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, do all the things, and that's it. I've had enough. Peace out, bitches.
Check on your friends.
That's right, bitch.